Assembly say, praise Yahweh. At this time, I ask that we all stand as we go into prayer. I'll be Yahweh. This day we told you for everything that you have given us. Everything that you've given us in order to continue on this journey, on this road to salvation. I'll be Yahweh, continue to look over us as we continue to walk this road to salvation. I'll be Yahweh, look over us, protect us from hurt, harm, and danger. I'll be Yahweh, continue to be in our minds. Help us to have a prayerful state of mind in these last days. I'll be Yahweh, continue to strengthen us all so we can go through whatever trials and tribulations that we may have to go through. I'll be Yahweh, stand us up as a people. I'll be Yahweh, have us to be of one like mind, all following your ways, doing your will. I'll be Yahweh, continue to be with us in this season. Don't let your people get embarrassed or distracted with what the world is doing at this very hour. But I'll be Yahweh, have us focused on those things that you command. Hallelujah. Focus on the prize that is ahead of us. And don't let those things bother us. Don't let anyone talk in our ears to stray us off the path. I'll be Yahweh, continue to have your Ruach dwell within our vessels. And have that Ruach to continue to guide us into all tough things. Continue to guide us into all things that are of you. In Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. House of Israel, you may be seated. Once again, Shabbat Shalom, House of Israel. And I want to say Shabbat Shalom to all that are tuning in on the live stream. This day I want to go into a message on the road that leads to salvation. And basically, the main question this evening is, are you walking in the right road? Because there's two different roads. I'm going to go into that. The road that leads to salvation, and then there's that road that leads to destruction. Now, all we had to do was examine ourselves, examine our lives, and see what road we are taking. Now, we are on the right path right now, on the right road. I'd say continue on in that path. Don't get off that path, that road. Don't look back. Just continue therein in that path. And how you know you're doing on the right road is because you're doing everything that Yahweh commands. Now, if you on that other road, look at your life, you see that you are doing a lot of things that is of the world. And you following all this. It says many people on that road to destruction. Now, if you following all of those things, then you're on the wrong road. Because the road that leads to salvation is not going to be that many people. It's going to be few people. It says it's going to be a straight and narrow path. But if you on that road with the world, you're going to be following everything that this world is doing, just like right now with the holiday season. If you following along with that, you're on that wrong road. So this evening, I want to go into that road that leads to salvation and show you the way that leads to Yahshua or salvation. This way, if you don't know how to get to it or how to follow this way, I'll show you. Even Thomas, I'm going to go into that. Even Thomas, he asked Yahshua, how do we know what the way is? And he let him know plain and simple. You already know what the way is. because it's through Yahshua HaMashiach. Yahshua HaMashiach is everything to Israel. He said he is the way, the truth, and life. So basically, through him, that's how you're going to receive salvation, not any other way. So that road that leads to salvation goes straight through Yahshua HaMashiach. So let's get into this message as we talk about this road. And let's go to the book of Matthew. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. And it says, enter through the narrow gate. For wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. And many enter through it. Like I said, you see the whole world, they follow these things of the world, the holidays, all the things that Yahweh does not command. You see this with your own eyes. But it says, small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life. And only a few find it. So we shouldn't get discouraged when we see a lot of people are not following Yahweh's way, the way to salvation, because he even says, it says few will find it. So you see just few people in this way along with you. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's going to be. And plain and simple, Yahweh doesn't want everybody, because everybody is not going to follow him. So, like I said, if you on that road to salvation, stay in it. Don't look back. We should stay on that road. We don't want to, on driving terms, I'm going to use a driving term, we don't want to be joyriding. You know, just having a good time, just doing what we want to do. We don't want to take an alternate route on this road. No, you want to stay on that straight and narrow path. Don't get off of it. Don't go to the right or to the left. Continue to stay focused straight ahead on that path. And like I said, if you continue on that path, all tough things will come your way. That road will begin to get smoother and smoother for you. Yeah, we go through things in life. We go through trials and tribulations, yeah, because of our transgression. But when you decide to follow Yahweh and Yahshua HaMashiach and stay there in that path, don't life begin to get easier and easier for you? Yes, hallelujah. So Yahweh begins to look out for his people. He sees that you are sincere and he's going to stick with you. Let's go to book of John. Like I said, a lot of people, they say, oh, how do you know you're in the right way? I don't know what the right way is. People always have these questions, but he tells you plain and simple. Now, it says in John 14, he talks about how Yahshua HaMashiach has a place prepared for you, Israel. Many mansions. But he said he will come back and get you so he can take you to this place where he's at. He's not, Yahweh cannot lie. So he said he's coming back. He's coming back to redeem his people. So we should be waiting for that. We should be preparing for that, because the time is drawing nearer and nearer. If we want to continue to push it off and like, oh, it's not going to happen in my generation, I'm going to continue to play. No, you don't want to play, Israel. You want to get on that path now, because like I'm going to read that also in the Torah. It says a lot of people are going to try to get in, but not going to be able to. Just like in the days of Noah. They preaching 120 years. If you ain't get it by then, that's your fault. But when that day came and they seen that the destruction was coming to the earth, that's when they wanted to come to the door and wanted to get in. but the door was shut. And when that door is shut, you cannot get in. So like I said, we have to receive Yahshua HaMashiach and Yahweh right now while we have the time. But in John 14, Thomas says in verse 5, Master, we don't know where you are going, so how can we know the way? And Yahshua HaMashiach answered, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. See, you can't just have Yahweh and say, yeah, I know Yahweh, I serve Almighty Yahweh, and then reject his son and think you're going to get in. It doesn't work like that. He says you get in through the Son. And if you accept the Son, then you have the Father. Now it says, if you really knew me, you would know my Father as well. Because he and his Father are one. Yahshua HaMashiach is Yahweh in the flesh. And a lot of people, they can't grapple with that in their minds. How is Yahweh going to be Yahshua HaMashiach? They can't grapple with it. But that's your mindset. Yahweh can do all things. Yahweh is all things. So he can do that. And who are you to want to question anything like that? If he says that's how it is, that's how it is. Now it says, from now on, you do know him and have seen him. Now you had Yahshua HaMashiach. Can you imagine that? In that lifetime, you had him walking on the face of the earth. You with him. You see him. And salvation walking on the face of the earth. And you have people that doubted him, that didn't believe in him, that said he was demon possessed. But all of his works showed you that he was of Yahweh. But you didn't want to accept that. But like I said, it's only going to be few people that are going to accept him, that is going to hear his voice. Because when he calls, his children are going to hear and abide by him. Let's go to John chapter 10. John 10 says, I tell you the truth. The man who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in by some other way, is a thief and a robber. The man who enters by the gate is the shepherd of his sheep. The watchman opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. Like I said, when Yahweh calls, we must hear. We must listen and do what he commands. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. So he knows each and every one of his children. None of you all are insignificant in his eyes. We may think sometimes, okay, this person has such and such job. This person has this and they better than me. And I'm not significant in the things. But no, Yahweh sees you as significant. Yahweh sees you as his children. And if you are serving him, you are better than what the world is doing. Now it says, when he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. See, he's going to lead his people. He's going to come back and bring you, like I said, to that place. I'm going to get to that later, where he's going to let you in that gate, and you're going, everything that you strive for in this lifetime will be well worth the wait. Once he lets you into that kingdom and you see no more suffering, no more things of this world, all those things are going to bring joy to Israel. But like I said, we have to be patient and wait on him. Can't get impatient and say, I wish he would hurry up. You know, I've been suffering all this time. No, we transgress. You can't say that. You know, if we have done the things to the T, to 100% to what Yahweh says, then okay. But we all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahweh. So we have to pay for whatever we had to pay for and just strive to the very end. Now, it says, but they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. Now, there's a day coming where something on this earth is going to command the worship of all men. And like I said, we have to be so in tune with Almighty Yahweh. So when that day comes, we know, no, that's a counterfeit. No, that is not Yahweh. He's going to even say he is Yahweh. But if we're not in tune with him, we are going to fall right into that. Let's go to that. 2 Thessalonians. Because these days are nothing and compared to what are coming, Israel. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm going to go ahead and start at verse 1. Concerning the coming of Yahshua HaMashiach and our being gathered to him, we ask you, brothers, not to become easily unsettled or alarmed by some prophecy, report, or letter supposed to have come from us, saying that the day of Yahweh has already come. And you will have people saying all these false things. Yahshua HaMashiach, he already came, he's not coming no more, or all these things that doesn't go along with the scriptures. But he said, don't get along with that. Don't fall for those things, Israel. Just go by what Yahweh has taught you. This is a preparation, Israel, for the things to come. We're not just sitting here just to waste time. No, we are preparing our souls for these days, preparing our souls to enter in his kingdom. It says, don't let anyone deceive you in any way, for that day will not come until the rebellion occurs and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the man doomed to destruction. See, now Shaitan knows he only got a short amount of time. So, and he's doomed for destruction. There's no doubt about it. No one is going to think they're going to go up against Yahweh and win. No, Yahweh is going to win. Yahweh is going to take over this earth and bring it back to where it was supposed to be at the beginning. Now it says, he will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called Yahweh or his worship, so that he sets himself up in Yahweh's temple, proclaiming himself to be Yahweh. See that? Now, he got to come and try to be exactly like Yahweh Yahshua to the T. But like we always say, it's always going to be a flaw with somebody trying to be a counterfeit, trying to be like someone else. You're going to notice that there's something off. But just know these days are coming. Just know we had to get in tune with Almighty Yahweh so we won't be fooled by the miraculous things that this man can do. Because it says he could deceive the world, even the very elect, if possible. If possible, it says, because the very elect are not going to fall for it. The very elect will know. Like it says, when Yahweh calls, they know their shepherd. They're going to know something is off, not to follow this, whatever is coming to the face of this earth. Now let's go back to John chapter 10. Now it says in verse 6, Yahshua used this figure of speech, but they did not understand what he was telling them. Therefore, Yahshua said again, I tell you the truth, I am the gate for the sheep. All who ever came before me were thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not listen to him. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. See that? That's the only way you're going to be saved, Israel, is entering through him. He will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. See, that's all wickedness, all Shaitan wants to do is divide and conquer. That's all he wants to do. And Shaitan has people in the world. He already had them going along with what he wants, but guess where he's going to come to get more people? He's going to come within the assembly of Yahweh. Because he know, okay, I got the world, but no, they following Yahweh, so he has to do something to distract you off that path, to get you off that road that leads to salvation. So he gives you all these things, glitz and glamour of the world, to get you to go off the path. He tried to wipe the memory away from you of the name, your son, the Yahshua HaMashiach. He tries all these tactics to get you off the path. So don't see it strange when you see different people in the world. They keep coming up against you. You keep going through different things in this world. That's a way of Shaitan trying to get you off the path. But like I said, if you're on the path, stay there. And Yahweh seen something in you. You were his child. So he opened your eyes so you could walk in this way. Like I said, that right there in itself is gives praise to the Almighty Yahweh, just opening our eyes to this. He didn't have to do it, but he did. And just because he did, I'm gonna keep striving to the very end. And I encourage you all to continue in it, because we all in this together, Israel. We was just talking about this. The times are gonna get harder and harder on Israel. No doubt about it. But we should be able to stick together. So when times get hard, we can all look out for each other. Because we all in the job market, not going to last long. If you have your jobs, continue to work in them. But you can see it slowly and slowly, they're taking the jobs away. They're going automated now, the robots, all these other things they're going into now to take away jobs from you and I. So like I said, right now, prepare yourselves for those things to come. Not trying to discourage you, but just telling you the truth. These days are going to get darker and darker for Israel. But when we walk with Yahweh, he will shed light on you. Now it says, he will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it more abundant, or to the full. See that? He has come so you can have life, Israel. That's his whole purpose, Israel, is for you to have life. He gave up his life, sacrificed his life for all, so you will have a chance at salvation. Now that ain't nothing that is stubborn. He didn't keep that to himself. No, that is a harbor right there, because he wanted to share this with all. But we know all is not going to receive this. So Israel, you must receive this and continue to go in the way. Now, verse 19 says that these words of Yahudim were again divided. Many of them said he is demon possessed and raving mad. Why listen to him? But others said, these are not the sayings of a man possessed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? Now, that show you right there. See, it's going to be some that's going to recognize him, that's going to follow him. But then there's others not going to recognize him. They're going to say all types of things about him. And that right there, he said something about that. You are of your father. If you continue to just deny Yahweh and all these, he said you are your father, the devil. So, like I said, This road to salvation, yeah, it might seem dark sometimes, but like I said, Yahweh is going to look out for his people. Let's go to Acts chapter 4. Acts 4:12 says, salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under the heaven given to men by which we must be saved. See that? That's the importance of even knowing his name. His name is salvation. Yahweh is salvation. Now, it says no other. So we can't go to all these different gods of the nations, think we're going to serve them and think we're going to get in. That's foolish. No, he says no other name except Yahshua HaMashiach in order to get salvation. Now it says, when they saw the courage of Kepha and Yachanan and realized that they were unschooled, ordinary men, they were astonished and they took note that these men had been with Yahshua. Like I said, just imagine you in Yahshua HaMashiach's presence. He walking on the face of the earth. No doubt about it. If you walking with him, you're going to know things. You going to know, you're going to be, like I said, they were unschooled. They didn't need to be schooled because they had salvation walking with them. They had everything that they needed. So it says, but since they could see the man who had been healed standing there with them, there was nothing they could say. So they ordered them to withdraw from the Sanhedrin and then confer together. So the people talking, like, why are these people coming out here talking about Yahshua HaMashiach, talking about salvation? You know how people, they get the whispering behind your back. But this was happening. It says, what we are going to do with, what are we going to do with these men, they asked. Everybody living in Jerusalem knows they have done an outstanding miracle, and we cannot deny it. See that even they saying, okay, yeah, we can't deny it. They're doing great things, but go in the other direction. But to stop this thing from spreading any further among the people, we must warn these men to speak no longer to anyone in this name. See that? They know that name is above all names. That name, they was like, oh nah, they gotta stop that. They can't do this. And you don't think there's a day coming that it could come to that, Israel? People come to you and say, nah, you can't speak in the name of Yahweh or Yahshua HaMashiach. You don't think those days can come? See, right now we relax. We think, okay, nah, these things ain't gonna come. But just wait it out and see what happens. Yeah, it's easy to say, oh nah, I'm not gonna go along with what they say. I'm gonna continue to worship Almighty Yahweh. I'm gonna continue to say his name. But like I said, if his ruach is in you, then yeah, those things not gonna bother you. But like I said, if we not following him now, we don't have his ruach within us now, we gonna fold up. We're going to give in and say, okay, I'm not going to say that name no more. I'm not going to worship Yahweh no more. Just don't kill me. See, but like I said, that ruach, that's what we have to ask for, Israel. Ask for that ruach. That ruach will guide you. Even if you had to lose your life, you will find it again. And it says, then they called them in again and commanded them not to speak or teach at all in the name of Yahshua. But Kepha and Yachanan replied, judge for yourselves whether it is right in Yahweh's sight to obey you rather than Yahweh. See that? Is it? You think I'm going to obey you as a man, flesh right now? You think I'm going to obey you over Almighty Yahweh? No, because guess what's going to happen if you obey man over Yahweh? Destruction. You're going to go in that burning lake of fire because you just rejected Yahweh because of flesh. But it says, for we cannot help speaking about what we have seen and heard. See, you walking right there with them. Why you going to deny him? No, they stood up strong and said, no, we're not going to deny him. We're going to stand up for his name. And that's, like I said, these things in the Torah should strengthen us, Israel, and show us that you can do the same thing. You know, and again, there's the examples in the Torah to show you what to do and what not to do. And we had to learn from those things. We can't just read the scriptures and then just be done with it and don't apply it to our lives. We must apply these things to our lives because these things are for our strengthening. Now it says, after further threats, they let them go. They could not decide how to punish them because all the people were praising Yahweh for what had happened. See that? They stuck to what they believed in. They stuck with Almighty Yahweh, and see, Yahweh made them let them go. No, he's not going to harm his people. Now, for the man who was miraculously healed was over 40 years old. So, like I said, might be a day coming in the near future. They ban speaking in the name of Yahweh, Yahshua HaMashiach. Shaitan knows that, no, he don't want that name out. Because if he can distract you by the name, you don't know who you calling out to. See that? You lose your salvation. That's why he took the name out the book, Israel. They give you the Lord God and Jesus to get you away from Almighty Yahweh because those names did not lead to anything. So that's why they want to keep you from saying that name, to erase the memory from Israel, to show, okay, no, to lead to salvation, you don't need that name. That's what Shaitan says. So let's go to book of Luke. Luke chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 22. Then Yahshua went through the towns and villages, teaching as he made his way to Jerusalem. Some asked him, Master, are only a few people going to be saved? He said to them, make every effort to enter through the narrow door, because many, I tell you, will try to enter and will not be able to. Like I said, remember I brought up the days of Noah? Like I said, these things, if you want to say history repeats itself, some of these things in the scripture, they're going to repeat itself. And we have no excuse because we have the examples right here in the book to follow. So we go other way than what Yahweh says, that's on us. Now it says, once the owner of the house gets up and closes the door, you will stand outside knocking and pleading, Sir, open the door for us. But he will answer, I don't know you or where you come from. Then you will say, see, you trying to plead with him now. You know you was wrong. You know you should have stayed with him from the very beginning. But now that the door is closed, now you want to plead and try to get in, try to bribe your way in. But this is what it says. It says, then you will say, we ate and drank with you, and you taught in our streets. But he will reply, I don't know you, or where you come from. Away from me, all you evildoers. See, you had the opportunity right in front of you, and you didn't want to take it. But when the times got hard, when the door closed and you seen, okay, the wrath about to come, now you want to get in, it's too late. It says there will be weeping there and gnashing of teeth. That is why. Because you see, okay, you messed up. You had your opportunity, but it's gone now. So that's why it's going to be weeping and gnashing of teeth. It says when you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the prophets in the kingdom of Yahweh, but you yourselves thrown out. People will come from the east and the west and the north and the south and will take their places at the feast in the kingdom of Yahweh. And he ain't say they're going to be in there celebrating the holidays. The feast, Israel. That's why we keep the feast right now, because that is what is going to be kept in his kingdom. Not going to be keeping Christmas, not going to be keeping Halloween, Easter. None of those things will be kept in his kingdom. It's going to be nothing but his feast. So that's why I said don't get discouraged about the holidays and stuff that they're doing now. No, you have your days coming up in Abib. And the good side of it, or the tough side of it, is knowing that those things lead to his kingdom. The feast days, the Kodesh days, they are meaningful for Israel. The holidays are just something fun to do, something to enjoy. That's all the world wants to do. Now, it says, indeed, there are those who are last who will be first, and first who will be last. So that shows it's going to be a reversal of things. Right now, Israel's at the tail because of transgression. But in his kingdom, you're going to be at the head. It's going to be the way, like I said, it was at the very beginning. So that's why you take this serious now, because you are his chosen people. You have a big responsibility waiting for you. So we can't screw this up now, Israel. We have to be glad, be joyful, and wait for those times so you can teach the nations. And then they look up to you. They don't look up to you now, but in those days they will, because Yahweh will make them honor you, because you stuck with Yahweh. You were sincere unto the end. So that's what Yahweh does for his people. Let's go to the book of Exodus. Exodus 23:20. Like I said, how people ask, how do we know what the way is? Where's the way? How to follow it? He's prepared the way for us, Israel. It's laid out in front of you. Just walk in it. That's all you had to do. No complaining, no nothing. Just do what he commands. So it says Exodus 23:20. See, I am sending an angel ahead of you to guard you along the way and to bring you to a place I have prepared. Then we just read that in John 14. He said he has a place waiting for you. He's going to come back and bring you to that place where he is. Now it says, pay attention to him and listen to what he says. This is singular. This is one person. It says, listen to what he says, not what the world says, what man says. No. Do not rebel against him. He will not forgive your rebellion. We have examples of that in Israel in the wilderness, how they rebelled time and time again. And I'm going to get to that. And Yahweh dropped them in that wilderness because of that rebellion, because of their unbelief. And I'm going to get to that. Now it says, do not rebel against him. He will not forgive your rebellion, since my name is in him. Now, who is that? See that? That's what I said. Yahweh, Yahshua HaMashiach. See that? Yahweh is salvation. You tell me you can get that out of God and Jesus. You can't get that out of that. See that? And then it says, all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahweh made the heavens. See that? We can't go with everything that the world says. And he even says, okay, you're going to be scattered among the nations. But don't follow the things that they do. I'm going to get to it. He says it's going to be a snare unto you. They're going to get you to do what they do. No, don't follow that. Yahweh, that's a test that Yahweh gives you to show you, okay, are you going to be faithful unto him? Even though you are surrounded by all this wickedness and evil, Are you going to stick to your guns and continue to follow Yahweh? Or are you going to get distracted and leave him and reject him? Now it says, if you listen carefully to what he says and do all that I say, I will be an enemy to your enemies and will oppose those who oppose you. That's what Yahweh does for his people. When you follow him and stick to him, he will fight for you, Israel. You can't say he don't fight for his people. You can't say, oh, he's just in the heavens. He's not coming down to do anything for us. No, that's what he does for his people. Now it says, my angel will go ahead of you and bring you into the land of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hivites, and Jebusites, and I will wipe them out. Do not bow down before their gods or worship them or follow their practices. You must demolish them and break their sacred stones to pieces. Worship, you remember what Abram had to do now. And he ain't play in his father's house. Now, he knew those things were wrong that his father had. So he broke them things up. And it says, worship Yahweh, Yahweh, and his blessings will be on your food and water. See that even though they may try to poison the food and water, that's all you hear on the news now. Oh, you can't eat such and such. It's contaminated. You can't eat this. It's contaminated. See, they messing with the food. But if you follow Yahweh, he will put a blessing on your food and water. So it won't harm you, Israel. Now it says, even I will take away sickness from among you, and none will miscarry or be burned in your land. And I will give you a full lifespan. So why you don't want to follow Yahweh? He's giving you all these things in the midst of this world, and people still don't want to follow him. Now, let me drop down to 31st verse. I will establish your borders from the Sea of Reeds to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the wilderness to the river. I will hand over to you the people who live in the land, and you will drive them out before you. Do not make a covenant with them or with their gods. Now see, Yahweh has made a covenant with Israel. That is a bond. That is an agreement that he made with all of us. And he sticks to that. He's not going to go back on his agreement. Now, we have done that. We have broken the covenant. We have done things that Yahweh doesn't command. But we had to be faithful just like Yahweh is faithful unto us. This says, do not let them live in your land, or they will cause you to sin against me, because the worship of their gods will certainly be a snare to you. See that? But people are making an excuse out of this. Oh, we scattered upon the nations, so yeah, we have to do what they say. No, you don't. They even says, come out of her, my people. Don't continue to do the things of the nations. There's certain things we have to continue to do to abide by the land, but other things, no, you have to stay far away from those things. People act like, okay, they got us handcuffed and we have to do these things, or else. No. Yahweh, with Yahweh, and you following him, you are free. And with Yahweh look out for you when you turn away from this world. Israel, he ain't gonna leave you out there naked, leave you out there just to not to know what to do. Yahweh, like it says, he's gonna lead his people. That's all we gotta do is just to believe. And like I said, that was the downfall of Israel in the wilderness, because they didn't believe. And they let that unbelief get themselves killed in the wilderness. Let's go to book of Numbers. Because Yahweh was leading them to the promised land, right? And then the people seen the awesome power of Almighty Yahweh, what he could do. They saw that Yahweh provided them with food and water. All these things Yahweh did for them to further strengthen them, further to gain faith and belief for Almighty Yahweh. But they still complain. They still bicker about every little thing. You can see what people that is. To this day, we wandering in the wilderness. It might not be in the wilderness, but we wandering, and we still complaining, bickering, wondering why we suffering, and not turning to Almighty Yahweh. And you don't see these things, history repeating itself. These things are going to continue because we continue to reject Yahweh. Let's go to Numbers 14, start at verse 5. Now, Yahweh set out people to go see this promised land, to show how tough this land was. So it could come back to the people and tell them, okay, what you got to look forward to. Even though it was people bigger and much mightier than them. Didn't matter because they had Yahweh on their side. So with Yahweh on your side, who cares what the world has? Because you're going to be victorious anyway. But like I said, the people complained, they bickered. So Numbers 14:5. Moshe and Aaron fell face down in front of the whole Israelite assembly gathered there. And Yahushua and Caleb, who were among those who had explored the land, tore their clothes and said to the entire Israelite assembly, the land we passed through and explored is exceedingly good. If Yahweh is pleased with us, he will lead us into that land, a land flowing with milk and honey, and will give it to us. Only do not rebel against Yahweh. We just read that. He does not like your rebellion. And do not be afraid of the people of the land, because we will swallow them up. Their protection is gone, but Yahweh is with us. Do not be afraid of them. See that encouragement to the people to show, yeah, you seen what Yahweh did for us with Pharaoh, taking down Pharaoh. He's with us. So their protection is gone. We can go in there and take the land. But they wanted to stone the people after that. They wanted to find another leader and go back to Mizraim. And Yahweh did not like that. And he's bickering behind people's backs. But the consequences of that, this says, I'm going to go to verse 26. Yahweh said to Moshe and Aaron, how long will this wicked community grumble against me? I have heard the complaints of these grumbling Israelites. So tell them, as surely as I live, declares Yahweh, I will do to you the very things I heard you say. In this wilderness, your bodies will fall. Every one of you 20 years old or more who was counted in the census and who has grumbled against me. Not one of you will enter the land I swore with uplifted hand to make your home, except Caleb and Yehoshua, because they had faith. They knew they could take the land. They wasn't afraid. They didn't have unbelief. No, their faithfulness got them into the promised land. And it says, as for your children that you said would be taken as plunder, I will bring them and to enjoy the land you have rejected. But your bodies will fall in this wilderness. See that? Like Zarkane was saying the other week, be careful what you ask for, because Yahweh will give it to you. See, all the complaining, wishing, wish I this, wish this and that. Don't say these things out your mouth, because those things may come to haunt you, just like Israel. So your children, it says, will be shepherds here for 40 years, suffering for your unfaithfulness until the last of your bodies lie in the wilderness. That's sad, because it says for 40 years, 1 year for each of the 40 days you explore the land, you will suffer for your sins and know what it is like to have me against you. See, Yahweh has a way of getting you, Israel. If you want to rebel, like it says, if you want to be stiff-necked and stubborn, Yahweh has a way of getting back at you. And we can't complain then that the things come into our lives and setting our lives awry. It's our fault. Just get on board with Almighty Yahweh and He relieve you of all those things. But it is sad, even Yahweh don't like even you to distract or offend people off the path, saying things that certain things you say to people might get them to leave. So you got to be encouraging to people when you even talk to people in your assemblies, because certain things that you say to people, it might make them go, just like the people on the streets. Every time you say you a Hebrew Israelite, they think, oh, you up down. But no, they out there yelling at people. That's not how you draw people to this way of life. Just imagine you starting this way of life out, and you go to the assembly, and all of a sudden people just start yelling at you, telling you all these things. Oh, you should know better. You shouldn't be doing this and that. No, you have to be patient with people. People have to be taught. But people that went out to that land, they came back with a bad report, and they had to pay for that. Yahweh did not like that. So verse 36 says, so the men Moshe had sent to explore the land, who returned and made the whole community grumble against him by spreading a bad report about it. These men responsible for spreading the bad report about the land were struck down and died of a plague before Yahweh. See that? Don't discourage people, because they come back with that bad, oh, the people in that land, we can't conquer them. They're going to destroy us. Do you think Israel going to go in there now because you said that? No. See, Caleb and Yehoshua, they told you, okay, this land is tough. It's flowing with milk and honey. We can take it. And the people that are in that land, we can take over them because Yahweh is with us. See, that's encouraging, knowing, okay, yeah, He told me Yahweh is on my side and we can take that land. But the other people, Yahweh struck them down because, okay, it gave that bad report to discourage the people. It even says in Matthew about offending or getting people to go off the path when they following this way and causing them to sin. Matthew 8:6, it says, if anyone causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a large millstone hung around his neck and to be drowned in the depths of the sea. So yeah, like I said, you gotta be careful how you talk to people in this way of life, especially when they first starting out. Because, people, they curious. I know, when you first came to this way of life, man, it was so joyful just to know this was the truth. It was different from what the world was saying. It was going by what Yahweh has commanded. And that right there brings joy to you. So, but if someone discourages you and just talking about, okay, how Yahweh doesn't do these things in your life, and they talking about rejecting the Messiah and all, those things will be discouraging to people and they'll leave. But like it says, Yahweh does not like that. If you call somebody to sin and they trying, Yahweh does not like that. Let's go to Ephesians. Ephesians 4:29 says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. See, that it's important to talk about the tough things in your life and in Yahweh. Don't always just be depressing things and just talk about all the things that not going on in your life. No, there's a whole lot of tough things that's going on in your life, Israel. But you just focusing on all the bad things. And you had to look at your life and wonder why you have all these bad things in, because you could be not following Yahweh the way he wants you to follow him. Now it says, do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. See that? You want to give encouraging words to people in this way of life, so it'd be beneficial. They'd say, okay, yeah, this way of life, this is the way to go. Yahweh is with us. Yahweh will look out for us, whatever trials and tribulations may come our way. That's how you had to speak in front of people, Israel. Matthew 12. Because a lot of times you don't even want to hear these things. We all going through similar things in life. But like at work, sometimes you got the co-worker, they're always coming in talking about bad things. Oh, this went on in my life. Oh, I got so many problems in my life. You don't want to hear all this stuff. Like I said, Yahweh, he provides everything that you need, Israel. And there's good things in your life that has happened. Focus on those things. Let's go to Matthew 12. Matthew 12:34. Says, you brood of vipers, how can you who are evil say anything tough? For out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. See, these people just blabbing out stuff, not even thinking of what they're saying. Not even thinking, okay, this might discourage this brother or this sister over here. It says the tough man brings tough things out of the good stored up in him. And the evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in him. So whatever you got inside, it's going to come out, Israel. You might can act sometimes and fool people, but Yahweh is going to bring that evil to the light. Now it says, but I tell you that men will have to give an account on the day of judgment for every careless word they have spoken. For by your words you will be acquitted, and your words you will be condemned. So that's why we have to be careful of how we speak to each other, how we deal with one another. Especially, like I said, if someone is new coming to this way of life, you want to encourage them. Let's go to Isaiah. This is Yeshaya chapter 52, or Isaiah 52, verse 7. It says, how beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news, who proclaim peace or shalom, who bring glad tidings, who proclaim salvation, who say to Zion, your Abba reigns. Listen, your watchmen lift up their voices. Together they shout for joy. See that? We proclaim these things, Israel. You know, when you can proclaim these things, and you know these things are ahead of you, you are encouraged, Israel. It's not about being downtrodden all the time. No, we had something to look forward to. This is when Yahweh returns to Zion, they will see it with their own eyes. Burst into songs of joy together, you ruins of Jerusalem, for Yahweh has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. Now, like I said, that's a joyous time. That's what we're looking forward to. When you get to that point, there's no doubt about it. You're going to burst into singing. You're going to burst into tears of joy. But like I said, he will come and redeem you. Yahweh will lay bare his Kodesh arm in the sight of all nations. Who was that? Yahshua HaMashiach. And all the end of the earth will see the salvation of our Abba. Depart, depart, go out from there. Touch no unclean thing. Come out from it and be pure, Israel. You who carry the vessels of Yahweh. See that? Come out of her, my people. Be pure. Don't continue to follow the ways of the world. But you will not leave in haste or go in flight. For Yahweh will go before you. The Elohim of Israel will be your rear guard. Now that's protection right there. Saying he's going to go before you and he's going to look out for your rear. So he's protecting you on all sides. He's going to look out for his people. Isn't that a joyous occasion that you see coming up, Israel? Like I said, we should be encouraged for these days coming. Shouldn't focus on the bad days. Oh man, we got to go through the bad days. We had to go through the turmoil, all the things that they say coming into this earth. Just know when these things begin to happen and get worse and worse in the last day, just know that your salvation is waiting for you. He's right there, about to come. When times you see times is getting so hard, I don't know how I'm gonna survive. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. And he says, look up, because your redemption draweth nigh. Yeah, like I said, he's not gonna leave his people. He's gonna take care of his people. Let's go to Micah chapter 2. Micah 2:12 says, I will surely gather all of you, O your code. So he said, all of you, all that are his. He's not going to leave someone by mistake. He's not going to leave someone out that was striving to follow him all their lives. No, he said he's going to gather all of you. And I will surely bring together the remnant of Israel. Now, the remnant, is that a lot of people? Like I said, this way of life, straight and narrow path. There's going to be few that find it. So it says, I will surely bring the remnant of Israel. I will bring them together like sheep in a pen, like a flock in its pastures. The place will throng with people. One who breaks open the way will go up before them. They will break through the gate and go out. And their king will pass through before them, Yahweh at their head. See that? Gonna pass through you. He's gonna be at your head, Israel. Let's go to book of Hebrews. Book of Hebrews, we should all get to know this book because this is about you. Hebrews 10, verse 19. Therefore, brothers, since we have confidence to enter the most Kodesh place by the blood of Yahshua, by a new and living way open for us through the curtain, that is his body. And since we have a great priest over the house of Yahweh, let us draw near to Yahweh with a sincere heart and full assurance of faith. Full assurance of faith. Like I said, that's very important to have faith, Israel, because it even says when the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on the earth? Now, it's going to be so hard of times. People are just going to begin to leave, think, you just give up. But no, we had to have that emunah. Had to have that faith to the very end. It says, having our hearts sprinkled to cleanse us from a guilty conscience, and having our bodies washed with pure water. Let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess. See, these things that we say, we had to do these things, Israel. You can't just talk it and not live it out. These things that you profess, do it. And let us consider how we may spur one another on towards a harvest and good deeds. See, he always talks about being there for one another. Be like Yahweh and Yahshua HaMashiach is for us. You gotta be there for one another, like they have done us, Israel. Now it says that, and it's sad these days. You see people, they just don't care. They don't care about their brothers and sisters. They just about themselves. You can't have that type of mentality, Israel. Like I said, we all in this together. Now it says, let us not give up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as you see the day approaching. See that one is getting later and later into this, Israel. And we had to encourage the more, because it's gonna get harder, Israel. Don't think, okay, yeah, this how it's gonna be the rest of the way. No, it's gonna get tight, Israel. Now it says if we deliberately keep on sinning after we have received the knowledge of the truth, no sacrifice for sins is left, but only a fearful expectation of judgment and a raging fire that will consume the enemies of Yahweh. Yahshua HaMashiach, he sacrificed his life one time. He's not going to keep doing it because you want to keep sinning and sinning over and over again. No, seeing you doing this deliberately, you know it's wrong. But you continue to sin because you're pleasing your flesh. But he considers you an enemy because you deliberately doing it. You don't care nothing about what Yahweh says. So that's what he says expectation of judgment is going to be. Anyone who rejected the law of Moshe died without Hasi on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. How much more severely do you think a man deserves to be punished who has trampled the Son of Man underfoot, who has treated as an unholy thing the blood of the covenant that sanctified him, and who has insulted the Ruach of mercy? See, that's a serious thing, Israel. You don't want to do that. You don't want to just try and, like I said, continue to sin and don't regard what he done, Yahshua HaMashiach, for the nation. He allowed you to have an opportunity for salvation, but to trample him underfoot and disregard that, that's nothing but bad news. For you know him who said, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, and again, Yahweh will judge his people. It's going to begin with the people of Yahweh first, because you should know. You of all people should know. So he's going to begin the punishment with you. And it says, it is a dreadful thing to fall into the hands of the living Elohim. You don't want to fall into Yahweh's hand. If you're doing tough things, you sincere, and he welcome you with open arms, with peace, that's fine. But if he welcome you in his hands with wrath, that's it. You are done. So, like I said, Yahweh is no one to be playing with. Let's go to Jeremiah. This is Jeremiah 13. Starting at verse 15. It says, hear and pay attention. Do not be arrogant, for Yahweh has spoken. Give honor to Yahweh your Abba before he brings the darkness, before your feet stumble on the darkening hills. You hope for light, but he will turn it to thick darkness and change it to deep gloom. See that when we transgressing, we keep sinning, that way is going to get dark for us. All the things are starting to not be right in our lives. That's the reason why the road ahead of us is dark, because we're not relying on Yahweh. So that's what he gives you. This says, but if you do not listen, I will weep in secret because of your pride. My eyes will weep bitterly, overflowing with tears, because Yahweh's flock will be taken captive. See, that's the reason why we're going through these things this very day, Israel, because of transgression. So you can't say, okay, I don't know why we're going through these things. I don't know why Yahweh hates us. because you're not doing right. Now it says in verse 22, it says, and if you ask yourself, why has this happened to me? It is because of your many sins that your skirts have been torn off and your body mistreated. There's a reason, Israel. He gives you the reason for everything you're doing. So if we are reading this book, we know why we are in so much trouble. Now verse 26 says, I will pull up your skirts over your face, that your shame may be seen. Your adulteries and lustful names, your shameless prostitution. I have seen your detestable acts on the hills and in the fields. Woe to you, O Jerusalem. How long will you be unclean? See, Yahweh tells you, okay, all right, I'm going to embarrass you. I'm going to put shame to you. Remember Father Adam, when he transgressed, first thing he noticed, he was naked. He was shameful and hid. See that? That's shame. But like he's giving us this day, Yahweh is shaming the nation, showing you that, okay, if you're not following me, if you want to disobey, I'm going to shame you in front of the whole world. And that's what's happening, ain't it? We're going through many things in this world for a reason. Let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah 60. I'll soon be done. Isaiah 60, verse 2. And it talks about, remember I was just talking about how he will set your path in darkness, thick darkness. And it talks about in Isaiah 62, it says, see, darkness covers the earth, and thick darkness is over the people because of the transgression, because of the sinning. But when you following Almighty Yahweh, he will shine that light on you, Israel. This is, but Yahweh rises upon you, and his honor appears over you. Like it says, arise, shine, let that light shine on you, Israel. Yahshua HaMashiach is the light of the world, right? Yahweh. Now, when you follow him and following his footsteps, that light will light that path. And like I said, that path will become smooth. That path ain't gonna be rough like it says when you transgression and you make it dark. No, it's gonna become more smoother and smoother for you. Let's go to the book of Romans. This is Romans 15. Romans 15:4 says, for everything that was written in the past was written to teach us. Like I said, when you read in the scriptures, Israel, take it upon yourself as examples of what to do and what not to do. Like I said, we have this book for a reason. So if we transgress and sin, that's because that's what we want to do. Like I said, I always say a lot of people have this book but don't want to read it. They think just having the book is making them Kodesh. No, you have to abide by what's in the book. That says, so that through endurance and the encouragement of the scriptures, we might have hope. It says, may the Elohim who gives endurance and encouragement give you a ruach of unity among yourselves as you follow Yahshua HaMashiach, so that with one heart and mouth you may glorify the Elohim and Father of Yahshua HaMashiach. See that? See that? Talks about that unity again. He wants us to be of one like mind, one heart, Israel. We have to be following the same thing. Because guess what? If we following different things, it's going to break the body apart. But once we of a one like mind, follow what Yahweh says completely. Like I said, that this nation, if it follows Yahweh to the T, Yahshua HaMashiach, it's a powerful nation. But like I said, the whole nation, they all different things, believe in different things. But Israel, he wants that unity. He wants you to stick together. Now, my last concluding scriptures, I want to go to Proverbs chapter 5. Proverbs 5:1 says, "My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Listen well to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion and your lips may preserve knowledge." See, that knowledge, that wisdom comes from Almighty Yahweh. If you don't want to crack the book open, how do you think you're going to receive wisdom and knowledge? If you don't want to come out to hear the preacher, how do you think you're going to receive wisdom and knowledge? It says, "For the lips of an adulteress drips honey, and her speech is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is bitter as gall, sharp as double-edged sword." See that? He talks about how you following this world, how you following things of the world and think that's the way, that is the road to salvation. But it really isn't. It says her feet go down to death. See that's what it leads to, Israel. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to the way of life. Her paths are crooked, but she knows it not. Now then, my sons, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your best strength to others, and your years to one who is cruel. Lest strangers feast on your wealth, and your toil enrich another man's house. See that? And we going through this now, Israel. All these things that he's laying out because we want to follow the world. That is not the right road to follow, Israel. Now it says at the end of your life, you will groan. That's what we're doing. When your flesh and body are spent, you will say, "How I hated discipline, how my heart spurned correction." See, it even says, don't make light of Yahweh's discipline. Yahweh disciplines those that he loves, Israel. He's going to correct you. So don't take that lightly. It says, "I would not obey my teachers or listen to my instructors." See that's people they don't listen to nobody. They don't care. They just want to do what they want to do. "Have come to the brink of utter ruin in the midst of the whole assembly." See that's what we have come to, Israel. Utter ruin. See, we dying on the streets, doing all types of things in the world. We at the tail end of everything just because we don't want to follow Yahweh. Now, verse 21 says, "For a man's way are in full view of Yahweh, and he examines all his paths." So whatever path you take, whatever road, Yahweh is examining those things. Like I said, one leads to life, one leads to death. This is the evil deeds of a wicked man ensnare him. The cords of his sin hold him fast. He will die for lack of discipline, led astray by his own great folly. See, Yahweh not playing with people. Yahweh tells you how you receive life. Yahweh shows you the path that is laid out in front of you. But when we deliberately continue to go our own way, follow the world, you got nothing coming to you. So Yahweh lays out all the things that we are going through in this lifetime. So we can't say, okay, why are we going through these things? Because of our own transgressions. So Israel, I say, if you're in that path that leads to salvation, stay there in it. Continue in it. Don't let anybody discourage you off that path. Don't look back. Just continue to go forward. And those that are looking for the way, Those that are seeking Almighty Yahweh, continue to seek him out and his son Yahshua HaMashiach, and he will lighten the way for you. He will open your eyes as long as you are sincere. Hallelujah. Like I said, this way of life is not hard at all. We are the ones that make everything hard because we want to be stiff-necked and stubborn, just like Israel in the wilderness. Continuous cycle. You had to break that cycle, Israel, and just be strengthened through Yahshua HaMashiach and following his ways. So that concludes my message for this evening. And I ask that we all stand as we go into prayer. Yahweh, continue to be with us. Continue to lighten that path that lies in front of us. Continue to teach us your ways and show us your truth. Continue to let your truth go on into the world to show all how to follow this way of life, how to receive salvation. I'll be Yahweh, put it in your minds of your people to want to do your will. Put it in the mind of your people to continue to rely solely on you in these last days. Yahweh, continue to look over us this evening and see us down the roadway safely and have us to have a good evening rest in the morning, to get up and give you praise and rejoice for just having another day. Rejoice just knowing that we have you on our side. In Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah.